Hello, Luke and Carolyn. Here's your sewer scope from today's inspection. It's me in the basement, just kind of giving a little bit of orientation. There's that clean out tucked up underneath the cabinet countertop in the basement. Start out as ABS, black plastic, typical for when this house was built. Not a lot of buildup in there. Smooth wall plastic like this is generally not conducive to grabbing onto stuff. So you might get a little bit of film going on, but generally not too much. So the other thing about plastic pipes, longer sections, generally 10 feet in length, they are glued together, so little chance that you're going to have any root growth or any kind of organic material growing into the pipe. It's a good thing. Very typical in a cul-de-sac, you're going to have a lot of twists and turns. We pick up some construction debris right here. My guess is that that's drywall compound, joint compound, that's hardened in the bottom of the pipe. You can see a little bit of flakiness around where it's kind of fallen apart. Towards the end, this guy follows us for most of the trip. Towards the end, you'll see that it's starting to break up a little bit more. It could be another material, but it's not pipe. I'm confident of that. It's, again, most likely one of the contractors just poured something down the drain and it basically sat on the bottom of the pipe and hardened up. I'm turning on some water right here to try to flush this away. We do a fairly good job of getting rid of it. We got most of it to go all the way out, or at least to the end of the push here. So here's the water. That's going to help this along a little bit. That and my camera head. Here's your transition to PVC. Right at about 55 feet, we switch over from one plastic to another. Same characteristics as ABS, tends not to get too built up with film or anything like that. Another short turn. The reason why we have all these turns in a cul-de-sac is because you have houses that are kind of oriented slightly different than you would in a normal just straight street. So a lot of times you've got to route around other people's utilities, their sewer lines, phone lines, things like that. If there are phone lines anymore, gas lines, water lines. There he is again. Generally, the only way that you're going to see damage, and I caught one a week or so ago, PVC can bend a little bit. You do see that from time to time. It will get dents and dings if who's ever filling the hole back in drops the backfill from too high a position, and you've got rocks and stuff like that that ding up the pipe. The one that I got a week or so ago, somebody likely hit it with the backhoe shovel, cracked the pipe, and there were roots growing in at that point. They are in the process of fixing that. It's a correctable situation, but you don't want to have to deal with it, obviously. At this point, I'm slowing down just because we're 137 feet out at this point with a lot of twists and turns. It's a little challenging to push a 3/8 inch cable and a camera head when you get out that far. And again, with all those twists and turns. So I'm turning more water on. That'll help me to kind of move things along. It helps the camera head and cable to push through a little bit easier. We'll get another about 30 feet, and then I'll run out of cable. I've got roughly 175 feet on this camera. We're going to use all of it. I was looking for a manhole cover in the cul-de-sac. I didn't see one. So potentially you go, so that's what I was talking about it flaking off like that. See how it's brittle? And again, it just has that look of joint compound to me, or something, you know, relatively similar to that. So you may go all the way out to the main street before you connect to the city. So you could theoretically be another 50 feet or so before you connect up with the city. We'll get rolling again here in just a second. Just trying to get a little bit more water going. There we go. And this is just about the end right here. So 171 feet, and then again the distance, because it was tucked up underneath that countertop. My machine was a good 3.5 feet away from the opening, so 175 feet out. All in all, good pipe. With all the water that I was running during the day, you had good functional drainage, no backups, not holding water anywhere. So all in all, good solid pipe. I'm going to keep the camera head rolling as I pull back. Feel free to watch the return trip if you want. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or if I can help.